All right, folks. Once again, I apologize about not being a little bit quicker on the fishing reports. I'm tucked in on the bank here down on the Douglas and Salmon Run where I've been fishing for the last few days. But anyways, I got a kind of a little slow spell in fishing, so I'm going to try to get my report done. It looks like the sun's going to cook me. It's been a kind of a cold morning, so the sun feels good. Anyway, so what's been going on? Before I get going on with the fishing reports, let me get a couple quick announcements in really quick. First, George Service still has some late October dates open for steelhead fishing. If you're interested, get in touch with us. Best thing to do is to go through the Lost Rivers fishing email, or even contact me. I'll forward it off to George. And if you're interested in some dates. Also, we're taking names. If anybody's interested in next August spay casting clinic, we held it again this year. We're looking to do it again next year. So if you're interested, contact us. Say, hey, I'm interested. If you're just interested in what, we'll put you on an email list, and then we take confirms in early summer. During the summer, we usually do it on July or August. We'll send you an email and say, hey, if you're still interested, it's time to sign up. But we do that the last weekend of August. We keep the classes to 10 students. Me and Ricky do the casting instruction, so it's a 5-to-1 student to instructor, which works perfect. You get just the right amount of one-on-one instruction. And we customize your casting, your slot, your casting day clinic to what you need, because we can get really personal with this setup. So that's also going on. Plus, any of you that have been interested in contacting me about fly boxes, because I'm doing some little assorted salmon and steelhead swing boxes for the to help support the channel. If you see me on the river, I got some in the truck. If you send me an email, my apologies. I've been busy, haven't gotten back to you. I have boxes. I'll be getting, as soon as I get a chance, I'll be contacting you and getting those things shipped out, because I've been on the water all day and the post office is closed when I get off the water, obviously. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Let's get on with the what's going on with the fishing. It's still a grind. We're still grinding in a way, and I probably look like, I'm running out of hair. I'm looking like I'm in the middle of a grind. I am. We're grinding away at it. So what's been really reality is we just had these really light, slow trickles of fish, just small handfuls at night, small handfuls in the morning, coming up to the river, and it's been going on now for a month and a half. It's just grind, is trickle, 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 trickle. I keep waiting for a blast of fish, and traditionally we seem to get a good push right around Columbus Day weekend. It's time. It's Columbus Day weekend. We're here. When I'm shooting it, I'm putting this out on the Friday before Columbus Day weekend. You're probably going to see this, my apologies, after the weekend when I finally get it edited and get to a hot Wi-Fi where I can get it up, and I'm got enough mental acuity to do the job. When I get off the water, I got the operational IQ of a walnut. But anyways, so that's going to be the timing. So hopefully by the time this gets up, I can put a little note in the down below that says, hey, we did get a run or something like that. So check on the description if there's any changes. I'll try to remember to put it there. So that's kind of what's going on. A lot of spawning. We got enough fish now that any gravel from the bottom end of the DSR all the way up into the upper fly zone, if there's spawning habitat, there's fish on it. So we are full on in the spawn. It's just a light amount of fish all the way through the river. So what's nice is it's not just the Douglas Salmon Run in the upper fly zone that's fishing, which is what was happening early in the season. At least now you can go somewhere on the river, do a little hunting, fish carefully, you'll find a few fish. And you should get some good quality eats. Now I got Calvin downriver below me swinging flies, so hopefully I can get to this where he yells about a fish being hooked up. And I gotta go be net boy. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going, in a nutshell, that's what's going on. Water flows, we had some lake effect rains earlier in the week. Really cold, intense downpours. That water was cold. Talk about hitting with a garden hose. It was just really cold. That's typical lake effect. So what it did is it dropped the water temperature. So we were kind of like in the mid to lower 60s. Now we're in the mid to upper 50s, which is perfect water temperatures, ideal for these fish. The water flows still at the 350 release at the dam. I think this morning when I was doing this report, I took a peek at Pineville gauge and it's like 480. So we're normal water flows for this time of year, so very typical standard water flow. But the nice thing is the temperature's down, and we didn't get any. We had a little bit of murk for, that day. We're getting those real intense downpours, a little bit of bank runoff, so it put a little color near the river's cleared right back up. So everything's clean. Not a lot of leaf issues yet. In fact, the leaves are just finally starting to change color, so we don't have a leaf problem. So for flies, we've been doing a lot of damage with egg-sucking leeches because there's so many eggs in the system. Egg bites on, and egg-sucking leech is a great fly to drift and swing. In fact, because we have so many old fish, it's just been hanging. Even though the DSR doesn't always hold a lot of fish, any water that's reasonable holding water is holding them. And we found that a lot of those fish have been sitting there, so they've been wanting more of a dead drift than a swing. However, today we're swinging. We still got a couple of bites, so if you swing fishermen, we're still good. We're getting some bites. We're running kind of like mini intruders, probably right around 3 inches long. Like I said, I've been fishing with Kelvin. He's had a couple nice little hot beads on the front on kind of like a small intruders, and that's been working. He's been running his favorite fly called a dirty hoe. I don't know if it's because I haven't cleaned up the hoe from gardening or whatever, but anyways, he ties that with a variation, then puts a plastic bead on the shank and turn it into an egg-sucking leech. He's been doing very well with that. So some, like I said, intruders, some size 4 leeches, buggers, egg patterns are definitely carry your egg box. Colors for eggs, orange is working the best. Sometimes chartreuse in the morning. An Oregon cheese roebuck is getting the job done. An orange roebuck is getting the job done. Estaz egg beaters and orange and chartreuse. I fish them all on 8s. So that's kind of what's going on. So still a wide variety, a big mix in the fly box, but most of it is if the varies from one day to day. Usually up in the fly zones, you find one day they want it on a swing and they want big flies. The next day is all dead drift with egg patterns or small buggers or small soft hackles on the swing. So it can vary widely. I'm seeing that behavior work its way down the river even into the ducks and salmon. So very often you're carrying several boxes of flies with different styles of flies, and you got to do a lot of experimenting. Some days you can get it dialed in and you get a really good system and have a great day. Other days it seems like each fish wants something different. So that's kind of what's been going on. I'm still hoping for a big push of fish, of salmon. Now for steelhead fishermen, we're starting to see an odd steelhead being caught. My group hasn't caught any, but I've seen a couple fish caught, a couple nice ones. And some brown trout are showing up on the scene too. An odd brown trout here and there has been caught. Still kind of like a bonus fish, but those bonus fish are starting to become a little bit more prevalent. So it looks like the steelhead might be right on schedule. Hopefully we can see we'll be into full-on steelhead by next week. So that's kind of where we are with that. Yeah, the steelhead we're just getting as bycatch. Sometimes we pick up an egg fly, but most of the guys that have been getting steelhead have been getting them on a full-on swing, which is kind of fun. So they're not dialed in on eggs yet. That'll happen. So pretty much that's what's going on. Really quick, you folks that stopped and said hello and you watched the videos, thank you for saying hello. It's good to meet you. We have a lot of fishing yet ahead of us. So I also think a lot of fish yet to come in. So it looks like we can still have a few weeks of very good salmon fishing, and we should have some steelhead on the scene very quickly. So that's kind of what's going on in a nutshell. Yeah, I'm going to get back to fishing. One other thing, you spay guys, if you're wondering about tips, we've been using a lot of T8s. Been working pretty good, and also some of the skinnier water we've been using a 5 and 5. 10, I use all 10-foot tips, like 5 foot of T8, 5 foot of floating. It's been working in some of the skinnier water. But once again, you know, at most you're going to need a T11, some of the real deep, fast water. But we've been getting it done with a T8 or an IMO of whatever. So that's been kind of what we've been using for tips. That's about all I can think about, other than the fact the grind continues, and I'm hoping that I'll walk out one morning and it'll just be game on. Gobs of fish and they're moving. But until then, it's fishing We can make it work. We get out there, and we're doing okay. See you on the river, folks. Good fishing to you. This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.